don't like Core Phoenix?
Not really. I mean, I don't remember if there was a buff that made Phoenix that much stronger. Base strength increased by 2, so no. No, I'm gonna say no. Phoenix Core sounds bad to me.
I mean, like laning wise, you definitely have some issues by all means, but
Oh wait, you can fire the Sunray now.
yes, well,
Is that an Axe? Or
No,
is that that's just a regular?
I think it was just a regular thing. No, it was an X thing. I believe it was an X thing.
Supernova Scepter now allows you to cast Sunray.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is an Axe.
Which is very good against IO Gyro, that's for sure.
10 seconds
And also, they just have a really good team fight between Earthshaker, Phoenix. They know that Gyro's going to show up to fights. Both of those heroes can be potentially mobile, and if you catch both of them with Echo Slam, it should be a team fight win. So they need the ability to push, and they need the ability to team fight, and they're going to get that here.
So Spirit Vessel is one of the better counters to IO, and it did receive a small...
little baby nerf.
Yeah, little nerf where it's 10% less heal reduction, and there is 1% less damage.
For current health, yeah.
Current health is damage.
I mean, most of it is the heal prevention, and the difference between 60 and 70 is really not that big. I mean, we're talking maybe like... It's going to be like 5 to 8 regen or something. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. And it is really easy for Phoenix to get Spirit Vessel. Hit level 10, you got 90 GPM. You can farm out lanes. You can also really contest a Gyro really well. Gyro is not a great laner, actually. And it requires him basically to be near heroes and have mana pool from IO, for example. So if he just gets... if like IO leaves the lane at all, or if he's not protected in lane, then just Fire Spirit Bombardment's going to be really obnoxious. Like, Gyro just can't stay in his lane very well if he gets pressured at all. The PA pick is a little interesting to me as well, though. She did get some mags changes. I don't think we'll see the item unless it comes down to like a third Roche or something like that. But seems like she's just going to be a good hero for picking off the IO. So once they do that, Gyro's really not that great of a hero. And also, Gyro actually doesn't scale very well against PA generally.
I really like the Axe on some of these other heroes, like the Earthshaker. I don't know about the Phoenix one. I can't really tell how good that is, but I definitely like some of the other ones. Besides it's a refresh ability, right? You basically, if you kill somebody, all your abilities come off cooldown. As PAs,
yes.
Pretty sure that's the Axe one.
And you can use Blur at a lower cooldown. It's like 12 seconds or something. So I don't think we'll see it directly on her, unless we see like an Auk mid or something. Which they still could do something weird like that.
We've got old Ome Washinderu, Templar Assassin, the Axe, allowing you to teleport all over the map on these TA traps. Another one that I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of, because again, the Axe on Gyro and as well as Wisps is so strong. But it is a good hero here, just being able to get the heavy amount of burst damage. It's great for being able to force Phoenix into an early Supernova. So early oftentimes that she's unable to get off like a good Fire Spirits. So like Chen's going to be food for her quite often.
Yeah, that aspect is really good.
I don't know whether or not these Chens, and if we're going to see Enchantress again, like I don't know whether these heroes are going to have an impact on the mid lane at all, because while you do have some of these like Chen who are stronger when it comes to laning phase, I think that's still only for side lanes because the mid lane is so short, right? You're still so close to your mid tower at all times that I don't know if this Chen can have an impact in slowing down this TA's farm.
I mean, it's definitely harder to gank, but I mean, Chen is kind of good with that because you have creeps tank the tower anyways.
Yeah.
I'm not super concerned about that myself. It'll just depends like what the other mid matchup is, but they've got their pick still. They know that their opponents drop in a TA mid, so.
Oh, you know what Axe is crazy right now is that Ember Spirit one.
Oh,
Holy
really?
cow. Yeah, it just straight up seems broken.
I mean, it is the stats he wants, and mobility is basically how you play the hero right now, move around bursting heroes. And I mean, you're shaving off 150 mana for using Fire Remnant, right? That alone is a massive advantage for those early ganks.
Insane. You're just throwing out remnants for free at all times.
Yeah.
And it pretty much means that any backline heroes are so easy to catch because you're not committing, you're not overcommitting your mobility to be able to kill a backline hero.
It's the first pro game Mars pick.
Ooh,
it is.
You thinking about his ulti sound right now?
Dun, 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 dun.
Especially being at MDL, I can't forget that sound anymore.
I spoke to a number of players yesterday, just outside the hotel, getting, what are we going to see? And I was told by a certain member of Alliance Mars will be picked in the first game of the day.
Oh, Mars is, I think, still a broken hero, even after...
Rocking the Chen with the GH Shaker, Vici first two and an IO Gyro pop. Like, we've seen this pair, the Paparazzi Gyro, like, forever. And now it's back.
Yeah.
Both new heroes, actually, added to Captain's Mode.
Yeah, that other new hero on the bottom lane. Yang's having a very hard time getting away as the Poison Touch, combining with the early Blightstone. One more attack, and Yang is so low, but he'll be able to survive. GH is being forced off the top rune at the same time. A Fissure, but the extra movement speed from the early boots just allow him to run it off.
And the Tumpa Man can't, like, it's one of those weird spots where you want to get the attack when you're A-moving, but he actually canceled it, unfortunately, or that would have been the first blood down bottom.
Looks like DY, actually, no, he's going to TP out. Miracle doesn't have enough damage. Kura is a little bit too far away. Even if he was there, it's just providing the extra Blightstone.
Yeah, and then the new Chen, this is what you want to do. We saw this before the changes, whereas now it's back to what we saw previously, where you have Chen as one of the strongest laners to babysit your solo carry in the safe lane. Miracle will be pressured early on, but once Kuro gets a couple creeps up and running, like, this is no longer a lane a hero like Lion can contest. It's far too weak, especially with the new move speed bonus on the creeps. Kuro's Chen will take over.
Seems like Yang and DY are also off to a bit of a rough start as well. Like, consumables-wise, there's 4 tangos between them at the moment going against this Chen lane just because of the early initiation that happened around the bounty runes. What do you do if this lane doesn't work? Like, if Chen's going to be such a huge presence, do you just move off the lane, and where do you go then if you're the Lion?
That's a great question, Toby. I'm not quite sure. It's a very difficult game for
Top
DY
lane,
if he doesn't
Fate
get
should
ahead.
be first blood. He looks to actually tether himself away, but Mind Control and GH just kept him locked in the trees with a Fissure.
Yeah, I think I disagree with the panel in that. I feel like Vici is the team on the clock more so. They need a very strong mid game, and then they've got to utilize like TA traps, Wispy relocate, and the crazy lockdown of the Lion to find kills around the map, throttle Liquid on their own side, and then try and close the game on second Roche. If you look at the Liquid lineup, they're going to get to a point in this game where like the PA is just unkillable, and Vici, I think the Ags timing with the gyro, and then TA's MKB, that's where they need to be looking to win the game.
I think we just saw the change come in there with Kuro getting the kill. He was trying to deny himself to the tier 2 tower DY. And because of it, because they changed from 20 seconds to 30 seconds now, it actually awarded the kill to Kuro because he did that last bit of damage before he got to the tower.
Did he get XP off that?
I don't know. I wasn't looking at that exact point. I just know it was Kuro who got awarded the kill for that timing. But there's these small little changes as well, which are meant to try and like, punish the early. As mid Fissure is out. Ori, he needs to be body blocked up by GH, who will be able to do it. That high movement speed, thanks to the haste rune. It's running out a little bit longer. He's going to salve up quickly. No, he actually just tangos and fairy fires, and still alive under the tower. The poison touch, 11 HP. He'll end up surviving.
Very close. This is a tough matchup for the TA, as you can already see. Very susceptible to being ganked by the Shaker, but the thing is, if you don't find those kills, he will eventually start to out-CS the Dazzle.
They're really going on top. The Fissure is out, and maybe with the Rocket Barrage, they're in range of Mind Control, but then a quick Icarus dive away gets him back underneath the tier 1 tower. But GH doing what GH needs to do. It's just that ES that has to protect his offlaner.
Yeah, it's an interesting lane phase. The thing is, up top, like Mind Control, they surely got that kill, but he's only got 3 CS. Bottom, Miracle taking a ton of damage as well. Only 1 tango. Such
a nice setup as well. When you just follow up you start with the early Earth Spike, and then you just spear him into a tree.
Yeah. It's a ton of lockdown down here, and you can see Kuro coming back. He needs to be playing in this area in order to help out Kuro. And yeah, this is the one, another big benefit, where you see Miracle just TPs to base, he's going to buy items, buy regen, and Kuro just summons him right back to the lane.
And then he looks to mana burn off any kind of attack. Like DY's already got the 1 point of mana drain, because that one little set of Mind Stealer, it makes it impossible for Yang and DY to get the combination right.
And they're still doing well. I mean, Vici's laning phase is actually excellent, all things considered. Even though they're down in gold right now, top is going to become a big problem for Liquid. Shaker is more of a roaming hero, not something that's actually able to secure lanes. And you don't have kill potential on this Gyro for a while. I mean, who on Liquid's going to rotate? It's going to be like the Dazzle and the Chen for an objective. That won't be for another 6 or 7 minutes.
Yep. How does a VG actually itemize for that? Like, if Liquid are going to look to rotate around and get involved in these kills, like, do we see Yang go for the build? I saw S4 doing this in that tournament in Moscow recently, where he went for the Vlad style build up. Do you still want to take that kind of like normal offlane item progression onto Mars, or is there some better stuff you can roll with?
Vlad's for sure. I think it's like a Blink Vlad's maybe Deso hero, but you've got a TA, so it's unlikely. I wouldn't be surprised to just see like Vlad's blink Ags, because the Ags on Mars is kind of insane. It refreshes your God's Rebuke, the W like AoE auto attack, and it also sets the cooldown to 1.4 seconds. So you can pop it, you can stun someone, rebuke them, ult, rebuke them, and like it's so much damage, and you literally have no items other than phase Vlad's, and it's still gonna be enough.
They're contesting for the 5-minute bounty runes. Fade as well as Paparazzi trying to ensure the top two because they've lost control of the bottom lane. And Paparazzi is able to get the top. So it will actually just be that straight 2-2 trade-off unless they lose some extra life. The Fissure, Fade, IO locked in. He'll burn from this. No way of surviving with the stick charges. Mind control ensures the kill, but it is still a 2-2 bounty rune trade.
Yeah, they need that kill though. You can see like Mind Control's not getting CS, so this buys him some space in the lane and a nice infusion of gold and XP coming his way. GH, you know, again, the downside of the TA, you can kill him early on, but it just gets more difficult, and once traps are up for Ori, he's the one now able to play aggressive.
Ori's in trouble. DY can even see him coming in thanks to that fresh Observer Ward. It's Kuro from the bottom, uncertain what he's looking to achieve with the stun, apart from just saying like, hey, don't you be diving Ori.
Yeah.
And that's why Yang's moving up. They're actually going to try and pin Sakuro inside the trees. The spear able to impale him up, and then they just hold around. That set of Mind Stealer can't do anything to save him, and Ori gets his first kill of the game, and the first for VG Gaming's. Only took him 5 to 6 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, it's looking good for Vici so far. This is the kind of game state they like, though. You know, it's pretty stable, and they're getting kills on the heroes that matter, but more importantly, Paparazzi is having a perfect game up top. We haven't seen the Wisp in some time, but I feel like it's just kind of poetic, where it's literally, it's in the last series played on the patch at TI, right? It gets removed from Captain's Mode, and the first time it's available to be picked in competitive play, it is. And it's first.
Yeah.
Like,
we were having a chat about this yesterday, because we were wondering what we were going to see in the, in this new patch. And actually looking at Io and Mars, the two new ones added into the Captain's Mode, obviously Io being re-added and Mars being a fresh one. I know you were leading the way of Mars, and you got both of them in the same game on the same team.
They're both kind of broken. And I think Wisp is a great example of how the skill cap increase in Dota over time like makes certain mechanics and heroes stronger, notably stuff like Earthshaker, which is the most lockdown, and it's instant. Wisp, you cannot replicate or counter Wisp relocate. It's just not a thing. Like, you can get two heroes from this side of the map to the other. And when you have teams like Vici and Liquid that are just so adept at movement and finding the weaknesses and getting those numbers advantages, like, this is a tool that is not replicable. Like, it's always going to be picked like this unless it's removed from the game.
In right on top of Paparazzi during the homing missile and mind control, but a double Fissure stun. TP support's coming in the form of Mars. He does have the ulti available. Are we going to put down the gauntlet? No, he doesn't have the mana available for it. It got burnt off. Matumba's moved up to the trees, and they still haven't found the initial kill. Fade did his work to keep that gyro up, and now maybe, well, actually just TP'd out. So you've got Matumba stuck in the trees. Fade will actually get this kill. Yang skewering GH onto the tree lines, and mind control's had enough of this. He's TPing out. Dazzle, ES, and the Chen all going down to VG Gaming, who successfully defend under the Tier 1 tower, even without the Arena of Blood.
That was really well done, just to make sure that they were ready to rotate there. Like, it was expected, right? It's Dazzle, Chen, they come top, and they're looking to get kills and then towers. If you can deny this, Vici, you can stall the game out for another 3 to 4 minutes. All of a sudden, you're in the mid game, and your lineup has dominance. That's a huge play for them, just to sort of stabilize, because if that top tower dies, you also have 3 heroes on Liquid, the PA, the Dazzle, the Phoenix. They can all play off lane, no problem.
Yep. What is actually, okay, top lane, that Fissure block is there, but with DY and Fade behind Paparazzi, Paparazzi feels very confident still to just stand his ground. There's not a lot of pressure that GH can apply, and I beg that question, what is the rotation from Matumba meant to really do? Like, why is this Dazzle pickup in the second, in that mid lane, meant to work for Team Liquid?
They're running a hyper carry around the Miracle PA, and like they wanted that move top to work, and then they make that same move around the 10-minute catapult wave mid. The Dazzle allows, like, you immediately clear the wave, and you provide tons of sustain in combination with the Chen. It's easy, in theory, to just take these early tier 1s and then assert your dominance over the map. Liquid loves doing this. They've picked Chen for years. And the problem is, if it doesn't work out, it's kind of like, well, what does Dazzle do? You're going to trade with the TA, sure, but your item progression just isn't as impactful if you don't have that snowball start. And look at the Ancients already up for Ori.
Yeah, that's a hell of a lot of money to come in for the Templar Assassin. But you are right. Like, I would never be asking the question of Dazzle if that top lane push worked. Like, we'd be sitting there going, man, this pick is really functioning for Team Liquid, just enabling the push. And it would have created a lot more space for Miracle. And he went for the double Wraith in Treads, but now he's going for the Battle Fury.
Yep.
He knows he needs that high level of farm.
And it's to be expected. Again, the downside of this pick is just that Miracle won't peak until like 3rd, 4th item. And he really needs like that 4th item before he can go toe-to-toe with the PA or the Gyro.
10-minute bounty runes. They're coming up.
Yeah,
And VG get almost every single one of them.
And I didn't notice this, but there's really no magical damage on Team Liquid with the exception of the Phoenix and the Shaker. And those heroes, like, they need way more time to be relevant, whereas Vici have a ton of easy spells to do damage in these mid-game fights. Notably, the Gyro ult is, you gotta just walk away from Liquid.
That Fitch has actually locked him. No, it hasn't. There is a slither of a path to get up the ramp.
Yeah. Also, another thing just to note, Wisp was changed so that overhealing does still heal your tethered target. So if you get confused, I remember playing a game with Shiver, and it took me like 3 before I realized that I was like flaming her. Like, not really flaming her, but I was like upset. I'm like, man, she keeps salving at full health. Like, what's going on? But it turns out I was the idiot all along.
Yeah, that came in a patch a while ago. But
yeah, but I don't play heroes. If they're not in captain's mode, it's like you might as well not exist, right?
well, let's just tell that to everyone who's trying to play Mars right now.
I mean, Mars was Hero was released pretty broken. It's not broken, but it's definitely strong, and I think it's at least a B tier offlaner in the meta, possibly A, depending on how people incorporate it into their new lineups.
GH was looking for something on the bottom lane, but they're not really going to find it. Kuro's got this army. And still, with every tier 1 tower of VG Gaming up, this doesn't feel like a Chen game.
No.
Like, you're 11 minutes in and every single tier 1 still exists.
Yeah, it's just also much easier for VG to play the game at this point. Their supports have their ultimates online. They've got Finger, they've got Relo.
That's DY. Massively isolated. He can get the quick hex out, but he knows he's not going to survive this. One more attack, Kuro has to put him down just because PA was in the stun.
Yeah, but that's fine for Vici. If you look, they've got they've got their TA just farming jungle as the Wisp Gyro play aggressive up top. This is how they're going to look to play the game. Just play 3 lanes, but more importantly, find kills in these lanes when you have like that 2-on-2 scenario. It's so much easier for Vici to do that. They've got this 1+1 concept, right? Where any core plus Lion, that's a kill. Anywhere on the map. And it makes it a very fun game for DY to play because wherever he goes, he can make action happen. Bottom lane, they're moving in.
Yeah, they're looking for a fight. The Courier is currently doing delivery work and needs to get the Demon Edge into Miracle as Ari just runs down the Courier. The level 1 Necro book recipe that was on it will have to wait another 3 minutes before it can find its owner.
Well, that's actually huge. That's the farming tool from a Tumbleman. And also just like his whole purpose thus far. He has 2 nulls. Like, that's 3 minutes now. It'll be 15 minutes before Dazzle's able to actually play Dota.
Yep.
And this is how Vici's going to continue to play. They're out farming. They're continuously stacking these Ancients. And whenever you see Liquid forced into a movement, you know Vici is getting a resource advantage because their Wisp Gyro are always split and continuing to accelerate on the other side of the map.
Do you actually feel like Vici are looking to force something right now? DY and Yang coming in. They'll find Kuro. Quick fissure out. And we're going to see our first Arena of Blood with the relocate over. Combine it with the cooldown, combine it with everything. Yep, Arena of Blood and Kuro is isolated. So relocate as well as the arena being burned. Vici find a kill. And they're pinging the tier 1 tower very quickly. This is the next objective.
Actually, I like this movement. I was going to say I don't like the reload unless they move towards middle. That's exactly what they're doing. Because you want to use this big cooldown and then get an objective off of it. And mid tower is the most important, especially when you're playing Dire side.
Fortify will buy some time, however. Chen's coming back to respawn. DY isolated very far away from this team, but when he gets a 3-hit stun, Fissure will be able to connect. Mind control after Icarus dive himself forward. Gets hexed up. Stifling dagger. It's just never-ending slows. And VG Gaming are nowhere nearby to help DY. So he'll go down, and the damage to the mid-tier 1 tower is negligible, 1/3 only.
Yeah, you'll take that. Liquid are really, they're doing fine. It's a really tough game to read because, you really never can count out Team Liquid, especially with this massive team fight comp that they've got. Notably, just Mind Control, Phoenix, GH, Shaker. One good sequence of events, couple huge ultimates, they'll take a fight and immediately a Roshan. It's just a question of whether they can get that opportunity because Vici is able to play with so much more pace in this game.
Yep. But I'm still interested, like, how you do the push after this. Like, you're talking about the pace. Like Templar Assassin gets early Desolator. That's what Ori's working into after having the Blink Dagger. So, okay, well, we have our initiation, but we're still sitting at what is a relatively slow game with only 10 kills, 14 minutes in.
Yeah, but if you look, like the net worth advantage, I don't believe kills have changed. VG's
Mind control. He found Yang up in the tree lines. Yang's already beginning the TP, and there's a stun. GH just able to connect in time. Yang's TP cancelled. Tier 1 tower taken on the top. And this is Team Liquid.
Yep.
Finally claiming what they're looking for, and Paparazzi will get the trade-off on bottom lane, however.
And here's the power of Dazzle Chen. You've got the maxed out aura on Chen, the Divine Favor. Everybody's got 4% health regen. In addition, you've got Dazzle, so your sustain is nuts, and then you have a Phoenix and an Earthshaker just hanging out, just daring Vici to come and try and fight them. And I think this is the move Vici need to make here, where you just continue to mirror the map, maybe take a fight in the pit, but certainly you're not looking to do anything until your Gyro finishes BKB, which is recipe away, and then Ori will have his Deso soon. Maybe then you can look to be active, but team fighting into Liquid is always dangerous because that crazy counter initiation potential.
DY is having a little bit of fun with GH in mid. They also fortified the Dire Wave. It's a little bit of chip damage into the tier 2 tower. When I say a little bit, I mean exactly that, not even 100.
Yeah, and the thing...
But they want to go.
They do.
The Necro books are coming down. Matumba is just using them to scout perfectly. So Io and Gyro will not catch him off guard.
Yeah, you can see the Vlad's up on Yang. He'll be going Blink next. That's really we have a Blink Deso on TA. You've got the Gyro BKB. And you've got the Blink soon on the Mars, and that's when it's go time for Vici.
Yeah, we'll see where they actually go. However, like, can you do Roshan without taking out this tier 1 tower in mid? Maybe that early damage you're talking about, it is really valuable if they can finish the job. But for now, like, it just seems like everyone's just willing to play this passive style, farm up game. Get to the big abilities. We thought this patch may drag the game length out a little bit longer, and that's exactly what it feels like too. Everyone's just getting their own
there were no incentives added, like no rules changed that made it more, like, you don't want to play more aggressive. It's harder to push towers. It's harder to, like, group up, and there's no incentive. There's no incentive for either side to try and force something onto the enemy side of the map, because you're going to lose. Both squads have these massive tools to just counter-initiate as a squad walks up at them through a choke point. And why risk it when you can just trust your draft, continue to accelerate? I'm sure Liquid trust in the Miracle PA. He's already got the Battle Fury.
He's going to actually let the arena up on top of the shrine, looking for the big battle, and they have to actually trigger the shrine, but now Matumba's getting a lot more light back. Paparazzi arrives on the back of the relocate, but Io being focused down by Fade. Miracle, can he actually do enough? Ori's already managed to get himself a double kill out. This finally killing off the Io. They turn their attention towards Miracle and Mind Control. A quick jump down. The spear, it doesn't actually pin him to the trees. So VG Gaming, they're starting to back up with the respawning of ES. He keeps the control on Ori, but maybe Ori can get himself a dieback onto GH, able to do so. An ultra kill for this Templar Assassin, and he wants the whole thing, and he's gonna get it. A rampage for Ori. They took that fight on top of Liquid Shrine, and Liquid did not have the sustain even with that.
Yeah, I would say that Liquid took that fight inside the Arena of Blood, Toby, and that was the timing. Like we said it. The BKB Gyro, Blink Deso TA, they're now willing to engage. They had a 4-5K gold lead, now it's 8. Now they walk into Roche, just pretty easily set up. And Liquid, I don't blame them for taking that fight. It's on an active shrine, you've got all your spells. They just underestimated the amount of damage Vici was capable of applying, and that's that. Vici take a dominant lead.
18 minutes in. I said it was going to be a bit of a slow game at the very beginning. Now they jump in, they're going after Kuro. That hit so hard. Ori. And once that armor is gone on the Chen, he doesn't stand a chance. And they'll take this tier 1 tower. Such a rare scenario for it to happen, but it happens because Liquid got totally wiped. All 5 heroes down, plus the extra buyback death. And Roshan dies for a tier 1 tower, but the tier 1 tower straight after.
Still...
They're looking for revenge on Yang. They'll have to fissure him. Just at this point, Matumba push back a little bit further. Mind control. Keeps on the chase. Relocate's coming in. You can actually hear it. Actually, no. It's just going to be Nova. Relocate from Paparazzi and Fade working together. They'll just burn through the Supernova. And Matumba needs to get his Shallow Grave off to survive. These stuns, they just last for so long. Now he begins his own TP out to safety.
Oh my god, but in the meantime, Ori's just slaying on the back. He got Miracle by himself.
He has a double damage.
Yeah, you can see like the problem with the Liquid draft, like the gyro just shows up, and you could argue, oh, you win BKB first, you win with scale as well, but you can. What does Mind Control do? He's got level 1 egg and a Spirit Vessel, but Wisp gyro just took that out in 2 seconds, and that's it. You know, you can't deal with the double damage TA even with 2 heroes standing next to each other, and this is looking real good for Vici. 11k up already. They should be able to control the next 4 runes as well. 20 seconds away.
Look at Ori. He's waiting. He's waiting for Matumba to come a little bit closer, but he was uncertain if Matumba could see him or not. Not the biggest Necro books just yet. GH, is he the next target? Spirit's not getting close enough, and he's got some support behind.
And Mars has a blink. Arena of Blood active. Got to be careful with your Liquid.
The Observer and Sentry are on the hillside. They understand what Mars has got. That's why the jump forward, Arena Blood is down. Mind Control, he's got no dive away. He'll just end up exploding. Matumba will be the next one. GH triggers off the Shrine. Matumba gets his Shallow Grave off, but doesn't have a TP scroll available. It wouldn't have helped when the homing missile from Paparazzi was coming towards him. So they've already caught out 2, and they'd love to catch out more, and they're able to do so. Yang just blinking forward, finding his own kill onto GH.
Yeah, and this is the draft of Vici being played to perfection. You know, you get that one critical fight, and then you just play the whole map, and you can look at what's happened to it. Look at the map. Where are Liquid's wards? They don't have anything. You've got a huge, like a force field keeping them contained inside the tier 2s now, and anytime they venture out, they're targets. This is how it works when you play against these Wisp straps. We haven't seen them in a while, but you know, the core concept of how you play around Wisp Gyro has not changed. And they didn't even peek. This is, it takes level 20 now for the Ags bonus to be transferred through Tether from the Wisp, but they don't even need that, and they're just going to chase Miracle. He's got no BKB.
Yep, relocate down the bottom lane. Yang already managed to get himself down there too. They pin Miracle to the tree, and Miracle needs a way back out of this, but he does not have an opportunity. Is there something going to be close? No. Fade just locked him in the tree lines, and they relocate back to mid, and they continue where they left off, jumping in. Ori just destroying this Chen as Paparazzi and Fade, they feel immortal, and really, they are.
You know, I really expected like a slower game, but Vici proving like, you know, maybe we had a patch, maybe it's harder to end games quick, but they're going for a 21-minute racks against a team that just finished second at the last major.
This actually feels like, remember when OG were winning all the majors early on, as like, you know what, we just know when we need to fight. We get our perfect items, and then we just gun it. Doesn't even matter if the early game looks bad, but the early game looked great. Yep. They just continue to push through, and this game really does feel like it's over. Liquid are staying in it, but I don't know how they feel they can get back into it.
Yeah, and they can't.
And there it is, GG. Kuro understands it.
Just abusing completely Liquid's lack of damage until the late game. Phoenix, Earthshaker, Chen, Dazzle, none of these heroes have easy spells that deal high DPS until their talents come online, until their items come online. And you had a Miracle PA going battle